Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So we have the Yamaha DGX 670 piano keyboard synth combination digital keyboard. Anyways, so I've had a couple of these DGXs in the past. If you check my channel, just type in DGX keyboard or DGX piano, and you'll come across the other models I've had. I really loved the very first one I had. It was like, oh, so nice, right? And of course, it ended up going. Second one, got it. Life happened, had to go. Really sucked. So this one came out about a year ago, and so I'm a little late getting off the fence on this one, or out of the gate. But that's okay. We all have our different opinions and thoughts and feelings behind when we do impression videos. Like, this is an impression video. This is not a review. Review will be coming along with a lot of tutorial stuff on this thing. More so than I was ever able to do with the other ones. But I got a really sweet deal. I traded in some gear that I'm really not using anyways, and that helped get this. So it's kind of like, sweet. Anyway, so, but if you're going to buy this cash outright, of course, you're talking about around $11.50. You know, it's like $11.40 something Canadian, right? So you might as well just round it off. $1,150, okay? Plus taxes, out the door. You get a keyboard, you get the power supply, you get the music stand here, obviously, and you do get a cheap sustain pedal with it. Now, Yamaha is no longer shipping DGXs with stands, or, you know, and they never did ship them with the 3-pedal units, but you could buy that as an extra. And I had those pedal units on both my other DGXs, and I found I only ever did use the sustain pedal, right? Because the middle pedal isn't used a whole lot, but it is used nonetheless, even still today. But the far left pedal had only ever been used on like 4 songs in the history of piano. So it's like, unless you're playing those 4 songs, it's kind of like, you don't need that pedal. So I kind of just, you know, I'm sticking with just a sustain pedal because it's really all I need anyway. But if you do want to get the 3-pedal unit, you must buy the stand designed for this glorious keyboard. Okay, now it's not that bad for price. It's like about $130 some. But for about $10 more, you get an all metal stand that can also withstand about 200 pounds, adjustable in height way up so that you can stand up and play, or have it right down on the very bottom. Perfect position for sit down play. And that, I think, is the better way to go if you're not going to bother with the 3-pedal unit. Because the 3-pedal unit, the way it mounts, you have to have their stand to do it, right? So that's kind of one of those things. It's like, eh. And it also takes away a lot of the portability ease, too, when you're using the wood stand, which does add almost an extra 100 pounds of weight to the sucker, too. I mean, it's really built and really sturdy. But the piano itself only weighs about 50 pounds, which is not bad. I mean, you can tuck it under your arm. Average person, carry it under your arm, away you go. Very easy to transport, especially when you have a transportable stand and you're just using a straight out sustain pedal. So perfect for gigging, live performance, whatever. Okay? You can pretty much go anywhere with this thing. As long as you got hydro, you're good. So, that all being said, she is 88 keys, graduated weighted keys, just like the real deal, right? They are full-size keys as well, so perfect. You do have the pitch bender. Another feature that is even now being supplied on even cheaper Yamaha keyboards. I guess because companies like Casio and a few others, now I wouldn't give you a lick split for about 95% of the Casio keyboards. They do have one really nice one that really actually impressed me a lot. And I was like that close, right? And it's like, yeah, but it doesn't have all the stuff this does, right? And for only, you know, a couple $100 more, you get all the glory. But also you get the Yamaha proven name throughout history too. Yamaha is really good stuff. They know what they're doing, that's for sure. But with even all that being said, we do have more wattage output. We have better sound system in this thing now. We're back to getting our microphone access back, because my last DGX didn't have microphone access, where I did on my first one. And I do have to work out, you know, putting a mic on this and getting that set up. I've got a little bit more rearranging to do in the studio to practically set things up right. But you can plug a microphone into this. So you just need an XLR to 1/4" jack cable and plug your really nice pro quality mic in to get better sound, of course. Quality mics do make a difference. I would recommend the SM58. It's a great vocal mic. I have one and I love it. But anyways, you can do other stuff too if you want. But either way, we do have a lot of features in this thing, but they're easier to get at, which is nice. Yamaha really stepped up. Now, we also have the CFX grand piano sound in this too, which is like really cool. And of course, we do have the capability of lifting different heights on the lids on the pianos, which is something we've had before as well. And of course, your different room atmosphere, recital halls, studio setting, alters the sound, etc. Right? You have all those features in this one too. We do have a little interesting thing with the wheel system, because we're not having to go wee till we find the sound we're after. It's a lot less hassle. Well, we can still do that because, but it's made easier, right? Before it was just like wee, we didn't have this. So voice setting, it used to be just a voice button. You would hit voice, then you just run the wheel until you found what you were after. I haven't found the helicopter effect in this yet. I hope it's in here still. But anyways, we have synth and pad. So if we press synth and pad, it gives us all of our synths and pads, right? And we can just, go through main menus, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and really quickly, easily see stuff. And if we need to go through more till we get to the very end, which will be actually number 8, voila, and then we have folders here that we can go through. So if I want this one here, I just synth and pad, boom, and it puts me right back to P1 again, because they're all in folders that open as you go, right? But you can just even do this sort of thing to find out what you want. I like time travel. I think it's kind of cool. And you have one called Synth Sticks. I got one here called Transpert. Chord master. Pitch fall. That's cool stuff. You can change the voice sets as well. Do all kinds of really funky stuff. Percussion and drums. Now, you don't get the chart here. Okay, if we go to voice set, I believe it is. P4. Oh, bottom row. Per set, we can change different things about the percussion stuff, right? Trying to remember how I got at it last time, where they actually showed it to you on screen. Percussion drums, user, sorry guys, rock kit, enter. Okay, I want the rock kit, drum kit. Okay, so press drum kit. Oh, wrong one. This is where it's kind of like here. Bottom one. There we go. If you get the bottom button show up for you, then it shows you what instruments are at those keys. So if we follow the octaves across, we're pretty much about the middle of the keyboard. So right about here. So this is going to show you what instrument you're playing and the key above. Here, it shows you on screen, which is kind of neat because normally you'd have stickers or embossments either down below or up top. They don't do that on pro level keyboards. This is a new feature that the other DGXs didn't have, right? And it's a full color screen too, which is really sick. I love it. It's cool. Anyways, and you can change your view as well just by pushing the buttons here. Okay, so that's kind of cool, and you can quickly find where your instruments are and type of thing, right? You get the idea. Brass and woodwind stuff, right? And you can just press one of the buttons to go through P1, P2, P4, and so on. P6, of course. And you can choose different instruments. Now, when you're using this pad down here, it automatically basically hits the enter key, makes it yellow, so it's already ready to use. But if you use the dial, it doesn't. You have to actually press enter, right? Okay, strings and choir. So everything strings and choir, everything percussion and drums, everything guitar and bass, everything accordion and organ stuff. It's one touch of a button. Boom, you are there. You know, press 6. Okay, I want that, and I want to go Heaven Bell. You know, I want Skyline. So the only thing here is there's no touch screen, but who really cares? You know, I mean, it'd be nice to have touch screen and go neat, you know, and be a lot quicker, but this is actually gives you a lot of nice little options there, right? And if you go down here to 5, P5 is actually a sound. So super dark pad, voice set. You can manipulate the voice, the depth, the offset, main and layer, etc. You've got other features up across here, which you just hit the tab button to tab across to, right? Effect and EQ, so you can EQ stuff, the depth of the chorus, the reverb, etc. So this thing is very easy, but a little intimidating, I must admit, at the same time, but so much better than previous generations of the DGXs. This thing offers so much more, it's nuts. The multi-track sequence recorder is also very nice in this thing too. You got like, I believe 16 tracks if I remember right. Record direct out to USB stick up top, boom, slam it in, away you go, take it to your computer, do your thing. You do also have host out, USB port on the back, as well as an auxiliary in, your sustain pedal obviously for your one that comes with it. You have the port there designated for the actual pedal kit if you choose to go that way, but you will have to buy the Yamaha stand. That's the only big thing about that one. So, we're going to go into exit, okay. So we're at the grand piano. Now the default drum beat, which is kind of really cool. I kind of like this one. I got to figure out how to raise the volume a little higher though on the drum beat. But I think if we just do something like this just for today's video. Now it does have accompaniment turned on, as well as intro, main, variations, breaks, etc. Okay, we can also do a sync start as well, where it just sits there and it's counting up and but you can just start it this way too. Have the beat going first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can of course change our tempo by just pressing tap tempo button, bring it up. I messed that up completely. It's a little too quick for me right now, especially being one-handed right now. Okay, but if we want different beats, right? Press enter. Now you can of course have different pianos going along with this kind of stuff, obviously, right? But while it's playing, you can sample the different beats, right? very simplest. They have one called Pianist here. No idea what that's for. Oh, that's cool. And you still have the same P1, P2, P3 for your different pages and stuff. Traditional. And there's more and more, and you can change the tempos, of course, right? Country and blues, right? Easy country pop. Right? Dance and R&B stuff. Entertainment. Got like sci-fi, 70s TV theme. Alright. Ballads, pop rock. And there's a lot of the selections in here, right? West Coast pop. Okay. So there's a whack load of stuff. Transposing made very easily, right? So let me just exit out of here. So if we want to transpose, just plus. And just right back up to that good old 0 standard. Okay, so that's nice too with the transpose. The other DGXs, it was like function, rotate, find the stupid feature, activate what you want, leave it on screen, and then you could change on the fly. But if you took it off screen for any reason to change the sound or something, you're back into that. This is so much simpler and easier. It's like boom, 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 done. Right? All your styles, it's instead of having one style button, you have multiples for your genres, right? Your voices, same thing for all your sounds. Multiple area, boom, that's all your synth and pad, percussion, drums, and so on, right? They've made this so easy, even though it kind of feels a little bit intimidating in some areas, right? You know, it's definitely, like, I think this is a really cool machine. I only played on this thing for like a couple of minutes at Long McQuaid yesterday, and I'm like, okay, what do I need to do to get this? It's like, you know. So of course, you know, I traded in a couple of guitars and some amps and, you know, stuff I really didn't need, and we made it happen. And it's like, I am so happy. Yeah, we will have a review. Don't worry. We will definitely have better playing, obviously, once my cast is gone. Because like, I am kind of limited, even though I can play to a degree. Some things I have to force out, and it kind of messes me over a little bit. Yeah, I think so far I'm very impressed. And I will say this, no matter how you look at it, I think it's definitely worth the money. Okay, for, you know, $1,100 and basically $50 Canadian, it is definitely worth the money, right? And you're getting a lot for your money, but you will have to purchase your own stand extra. Like I said, they don't supply stands anymore, okay? And I get it, and I'm actually not complaining too much about that, because my last two DGXs, yes, they came with stands originally. My first one I had to buy the pedal kit for. My second one came with the pedal kit. But really, to be honest, I only use the sustain anyways, and most of us do nowadays, okay? So it's kind of a, do you need the pedal kit? No. Well, then don't buy the stand, because you're better off getting a metal stand like this. That's actually makes it easier to portable, right? Because you just pick this up and go. When you have it on the wood stand, it's all bolted down, and it adds an extra 100 pounds of weight, and it's like, you know, it looks more classier in a sense for traditionality purposes, but it's very impeding on trying to move the thing if you needed to, right? Where this, it's like pick it up, go, stand, fold it up, go, done, right? Too simple. So if you're needing the portability aspect of it, then I would definitely go with the stand that's in the link below. Now, there is a channel on YouTube that showed a double X frame stand. I would not recommend going that way. I know this thing only weighs about 50 pounds, but the way the metal stands, the scissor stands work, the way they're welded together, they're great for very light pianos, but I would not trust $1,100 on even the double X frame stands. Not a chance. This is 100% guaranteed sturdy. It holds 200 pounds of weight, but it's built like a tank. And it's only like, I think it's about $10 more than the wood stand for this. You can get the X stands cheaper, but you're going to get what you pay for. And in that case, you could be an impending disaster down the road if that stand gives out on you, and it can. So just don't buy a cheap stand for an expensive piano. Buy cheap stands for cheap, light-duty pianos. But otherwise, yeah, that's all I got for you today. I have a lot of reading to do. It does come with a fairly thick manual, but that's because it's in a few different languages. So, you know, grain of salt, find the English section. It's really not that thick. You can download the manual free from Yamaha. I would suggest going up there if you're interested in this already without having a review done or extra stuff. Go download the manual, read through the manual so you can see all the features, go through all the specs, and then decide if maybe this is something that might be for you. And if it might be, go to your local music store that sells the Yamaha DGXs. Preferably they have one in stock, and you can try one out on the floor first, and then really decide for yourself. Because I love the weighted keys, you know, and they are, of course, touch sensitive. Everything's just like a real piano here, you know. So, and of course you got all the octaves, you've got all 88 keys, of course, and that sort of deal. But yeah, and yeah, you can plug this into a PA system too. The only thing I haven't found out yet is going through the headphone output jack, if I can keep the internal speakers on at the same time as going to my studio. I just got this home yesterday, guys, so I need to learn a few more things, obviously, about that, and go into the programming on here and see if that's available to us or not. Because I remember my first DGX, I could do that because it actually had a dedicated line out. And the second one, I could go through headphone slash out, and if I remember right, I could do it on that one. But on that one, we lost out on the microphone access. With my first one, I had the mic. Now we have the microphone back, which is nice. So I'm kind of hoping we can split off that connection to still have internal speakers going at the same time as recording out. Yeah, I'll have to find out for you. But that'll be when I do the tutorial videos and whatnot. Like I said, I got a bit more to learn, but so far that's covered a lot of ground already. But I do want to also give you up close to the screen so that you can see what's going on the screen too. Again, more videos to come. So in the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think so far of this thing. I think it's really cool, to be honest. I'm so glad I bought it. Anyway, that's it. That's all. And we'll catch you on the next one, okay? See ya.